Hello and welcome to the United Stand. And first of all, can I just say from the absolute bottom of my heart, I hope Liverpool lose in the worst possible way tomorrow night. It would make my season for Liverpool to get absolutely stuffed tomorrow night and see a load of Scousers crying in Kiev. Brilliant. And I love chicken Kiev as well. How relevant that is, I don't know. But I will love it. And I've got no apologies to make, because you know why I've got no apologies to make. Because every single proper Liverpool fan would wish the same against Manchester United. And if they don't, they're not proper Liverpool fans either. So I hope you get stuffed tomorrow night with total satisfaction. That's got to be worth a like. Anyway, Fabinho to Manchester United, or Fabinho, or whatever you pronounce it. Look, the reality is, Manchester United, Fabinho is the sort of... Well, it's not even the sort of player. Let's get into this. This is the player that I've wanted at Manchester United for a long time. For anybody, I never do drunk streams. I don't believe in it. I think it's immoral, and I think it's also unprofessional to go live when you're drunk. But I did do it when we announced Matic last summer, and I was like, don't want Matic, he's too slow. I'm sure people are going to jump on the bandwagon and say he's a good player because he is a 6 or 7 out of 10 player. And I haven't really got a problem with Matic, and he better bloody do what he was bought to do and bring Savic to the club this summer. But I must be absolutely honest, in relation to Matic, he's slow. He's slow, he's lethargic, and our midfield is slow and lethargic. I wanted Fabinho last summer, and I still want him now. And this news to me on a Friday night before a bank holiday weekend is absolutely spot on. I love it. I absolutely love it. So the news is, and you should follow at United Stand MUFC on Twitter, because it is the United Stand Twitter account. But you should also follow it because, unlike some Twitter accounts who just regurgitate every bit of crap off every media outlet, they don't censor it. They just put constant crap out. Oh, United are after Douglas Costa. Oh, United are going to buy the whole Barcelona team. They don't mind, and there'll be some nuggets in there, but they don't censor it. The United Stand, we do censor it. We don't just tweet out any old shit. And we did say today at about 4 o'clock, because it came from France, from a credible source that we follow, that Fabinho is Atletico Madrid have put a bid in for Fabinho, but Manchester United are monitoring the situation. And also, if anybody had their ears open, yesterday a source from Monaco said that they kept Lemar and Fabinho at Monaco for another season, almost against their will. So they are going to move this summer. Both of them will move this summer. We don't want Lemar because he's a BTEC Martial, but we do want Fabinho, or I do want Fabinho, and he can play right back, but he can play centre defensive midfielder as well. And the great thing about this news from France is that Manchester United are monitoring the situation. Atletico Madrid have made the first move, but Manchester United are monitoring the situation. Now, what I would say straight away is that we were going to do a show tonight, and I put up the apologies. We will do it. We'll do it when there's not big news coming in. Pogba. We need to do the Pogba situation. But without touching too much into that debate, what I would say is this. If United get Fred and Fabinho, they won't get milinkovic-savic. And that, I think, United's summer, we've got to get Milinkovic-Savic. We've got to come out this summer with him. He has to be the big signing. He is going to be absolutely brilliant, and he would be brilliant at Manchester United. I like Fred, and I really like Fabinho, and I think he'd be brilliant at Manchester United. And I know a lot of you will say, well, he's not had a great season for Monaco and all that jazz. But the reality is, I really like him. I wanted him last summer over Matic. He was my number one centre defensive midfield option. And if we signed him, he would be a brilliant signing. I really, really like him. And he's not... The thing about Fabinho is, he's sort of become a myth. He's become a bit of a cult figure. He's not the Vidal or Ozil or Schneider that we've had of the past in summer transfer window as well. Like, oh, please sign them, please sign them. Fabinho is not a superstar. He plays for Monaco. He doesn't even get in the Brazilian squad for the World Cup. But he's sort of become a bit of a cult status. And he would, and quite rightly so, I think he would be absolutely brilliant for Manchester United, because if you don't know anything about him, he's quick across the ground, he is tenacious, and he's got ball skills. He can pass the ball over a range. I think he is far better for our centre defensive midfield position than Matic, and I said that last summer, so I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't say it now. Atletico Madrid are after him. Manchester United are monitoring the situation. His agent and I've said this many a time over the years, but his agent is George Mendes, who is Jose Mourinho's agent. So at some point, we need to start doing something with that relationship. And I am encouraged that we are interested in him, and the sources are good. I will not eat my shoes if we sign him, but I do sort of feel that we won't, because I want him, and I've wanted him for a long time, and I know some of you have as well. But if we did get him, I'd be massively encouraged. We do need to take into account that Pereira's coming back, and that also Fosu Mendes is coming back. But sometimes you've just got to go with it. Does Fabinho interest confirm Fellaini's exit? Says THK165. I can categorically tell you now, and you can pull me off in a YouTube sense. You can pull this clip off I'm about to say now. Fellaini is leaving Manchester United. He's gone. And that makes me want to crack open a few more pints. But it does. Get out of my club and never come back. I've been very, very consistent about Fellaini. I never wanted him when we first got him. The United stand hadn't started there. But from the start of the United stand, I have been very consistent. I don't want him at Manchester United. It's not personal. I wish him all the best. I hope he lives till a ripe old age of 120. I don't wish the guy any bad will at all. But on the football pitch, rubbish. Get out of my club and never ever come back. I want him to go, and he will go. And that's the best news ever. Mohammed Hassan says Matic is brilliant. Well, everybody's opinion matters. And all these transfer news are crap, says Arads. Yeah, it's the bank holiday weekend, Arads. Come on, get with the programme. I'll tell you what, I will throw you. I'll actually humour Arads and everybody else as well, because I want to humour a lot of people on the live comments tonight. But Ronaldo to Manchester United. We're not about to start a video about Ronaldo, but his mum, when asked about Ronaldo going to PSG, has said I'd rather he went to Manchester United. He's coming to Manchester United. Look, if Ronaldo comes to Manchester United, I'll party every friggin' week, every day of next season. I would love Cristiano Ronaldo to come to Manchester United. Absolutely love it. He's got a big job to do tomorrow. First of all, tomorrow night, he's got to absolutely destroy them Scousers. They've got to win tomorrow night. If you're watching the games, let's not pretend. You're going to watch the game tomorrow night. You don't want Liverpool to win, but you're going to watch it tomorrow night. You know you are. Stop lying that you're going to go and watch Solo movie, or you're going to just go and have a nice meal or anything like that. You know you're going to watch it. You're going to watch it like I'm going to watch it, in the hope that Real Madrid actually beat them tomorrow night. And if you want to watch it with me, I'm doing it on That's Football tomorrow night, because Xander's gone off on holiday and someone's got to do it, so I'm doing it. And That's Football is meant to be a generic, happy, clappy, or for everyone channel. But tomorrow night, you get me on doing a watch along for it. I'm a Real Madrid. I'm a Madrista. And Ronaldo, I'm in your corner tomorrow. So if you're watching the game tomorrow night, make sure you watch it on That's Football for a watch along with me. But Ronaldo coming back to Manchester United, if it happens, we're partying. We're partying for a year. It's not going to happen, but that's a rubbish transfer story. We don't peddle rubbish stories on the United stand. On every day, Monday to Friday, 7 a.m, we've got Transfer Daily, and we will talk about transfer stories. And there are still people who don't get it. They're still going, well, United stand, you're chucking out rubbish stories. They don't listen to the retainer at the start of the video. Hello and welcome to the United stand. This is the United Daily, where we talk about all the latest Manchester United transfer news and give it that real fan opinion. The proof is in that sentence. All the latest Manchester United transfer news, which we haven't made up, and we give it the real fan opinion. That's our bit. That's our bit. And people still come out. Why are you talking about? Why are you making up rubbish stories? We don't. We're talking about what other people are talking about and giving it real fan opinion. That's the concept of the channel. So, of course, there's total nonsense out there. I personally think Toby Alderweireld, and this is going to upset people, is a load of nonsense. I don't think that deal's going to happen. If it happens, great, but I don't think it's going to happen. Fabinho, I've wanted him for so long, I think it's probably nonsense. Fred, I think is going to happen. Milinkovic-Savic, up in the air. We're juggling balls. And that deal needs to happen. That deal needs to happen. Sandro, yes, I'd like that to happen. The black dude is worried that Scousers are going to win. Don't worry about it, mate. You can't stop it. Like Paul Scholes said, it's a sad state of affairs when Manchester United's season depends on Liverpool losing. But I'm looking forward to next season with a rainbow of positivity. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm United, but will support any English club in Europe, says John Coles. Where are the moderators? John Coles, I'm sorry, I never ever say this. Get out. Get in the bin. I'm not having that. You are quite simply not a Manchester United fan if you want Liverpool to win tomorrow. I would never say anything like that. There is absolutely nothing else that would make me say that. I would never say to any individual, you're not a United fan based on anything. You could love Fellaini and I would not say you're not a United fan. You could say that Louis van Gaal and David Moyes were the best things to happen to Manchester United and I would say you're still a United fan. But if you say I'm a United fan, but I want Liverpool to win tomorrow night, no. Get out. Get out and never come back. Wash your mouth out with soap and never come back. You are not a Manchester United fan if you want Liverpool to win tomorrow. You're not. Apparently Rory McIlroy said the same. That's why he plays golf. Boring. You know nothing. Celebrity golf player. You absolutely know nothing about football. You absolute clown. Sit down. You know nothing. If you want Liverpool to win tomorrow, just because it's good for English football or you'd like it to go well, get out. There is no Liverpool player with any connection to Manchester United for a start. Ronaldo, Manchester United legend. That should be enough. On top of that, the rivalry between Manchester United and Liverpool actually means something. It actually means something. And you know what? This is not Manchester United bitterness. Liverpool fans cannot stand us as much as we can't stand them. No credible Liverpool fan would say, I want Manchester United to win tomorrow night because they're English. They wouldn't do it. They can't stand us. We can't stand them. And hallelujah, praise the Lord that is what football is all about. It actually is about rivalry. I cannot be doing with this messing around modern phenomenon of being a fair weather fan. Oh, I like Salah. Oh, I like Firmino. Oh, James Milner. Get out. They play for Liverpool. They are the enemy. They are a big rival. Get out. No. Under no circumstances, if you are a Manchester United fan, should you want Liverpool to win tomorrow. It is absolutely not a topic for conversation. Even on the United stand, which is all about fan opinion, if you're a United fan and you want Liverpool to win tomorrow, get out. You're not a United fan. You're not. And I'm categorically, factually spot on with that. Never in a million years. And that should never, ever change. They are the enemy and they treat us like the enemy. I tell you what, I know loads of Liverpool fans. I'll have a pint with them, but if we start on football, we shut it down. Get off. No, not talking about it. Not interested. And it works both ways. So Liverpool fans can be in the final and saying, oh, love me, or love me. Forget it. Get out. Real Madrid all the way and back again. Anyway, we're Manchester United. If they do win tomorrow, it's going to be very, very difficult. I'll tell you what, the watch-along is going to be a cracker tomorrow, isn't it? It's going to be great. I don't even know why I'm doing it. But back to Manchester United. Look, I choose not to look backwards. I choose to go forwards because that is what we need to do. I choose not to scrutinise Mourinho, Pogba and everybody else because we've got to look forward. And I think, actually, you know what? When you look at this transfer window, it's only a week old. We know Fellaini's going. We know Darmian's going. And it looks like we've got Fred. That's in a week. If we can do that in a week and do something else next week and something else next week, we could actually be in a real positive situation. And I think Woodward and Mourinho look like they've got the finger on the pulse. We've got that coaching staff change as well. And we need to be progressive and we need to get on with it because we were a long way off last season. We know we were. Second place, I think, is a testament to the players and Mourinho, even though they massively underachieved. You've got to applaud them for getting second place. Next season, I don't think they can play like that. And I think Jose knows that. And I think Manchester United know that. And I think the players know that. We've got to be much, much, much better. And also, we've got to respect what Manchester United's all about. We've got to play the right way. And the great thing is, as I spoke about at lunchtime, Fred, if he comes to Manchester United, which is looking likely, he's a different sort of player. But I do believe that Manchester United's summer will be defined by whether we sign Milinkovic-Savic or not. I think he's so important. Taj Singh says Fabinho for right back. He can play right back. He prefers to play centre defensive midfield, but he can play right back. And you're right, he'd be a very, very good signing for that position. He can cover a number of positions, and that is very important. I've said this before. I would put out a little bit of retainer that we are going to Brazil-centric. Like, Mourinho said he'd like a Brazilian, and he wasn't talking about a shave down under. He was talking about, and that's not down in Australia. He's not going to Australia. He's going to Russia to do the World Cup for Russian TV. But he wanted a Brazilian footballer. And ever since then, we've had Sandro, Fred, Fabinho, Talisca, Costa. That's 5 Brazilians in the space of a week. He must be sore. But no, pardon the jokes. But seriously, over 50% of those aren't coming to United. It's just because of what he said about Brazilians, because that's how the press work. You give them a centimetre and they take a mile, and that's how it works. But I would hope that Manchester United are in for Fabinho, because in the modern day, he's primed to move. He can play a number of positions, and actually, I think he's better than Matic. I've always felt he was better than Matic, and I think Matic has had a good season for United, but I can't lie. The videos are out there. I wanted Fabinho last summer and we got Matic. I wanted Fabinho over Eric Dyer and we got Matic. You know, I really do want him at the club, and I think he'd be a very good player. And his season has been a little bit mixed at Monaco. I will hold that up and say that's true, but I really want him at Manchester United, and I hope that we can do that deal. People are on about the rant. If you want to pull it off and put it onto YouTube or whatever, you can do it, because I totally agree with that. Jake Upjill says you can't support Real and hate Liverpool. Talk about football rivalry. To be honest, thanks Jake for the contribution, and you can do that through the super chat below. But I'm struggling to understand what you're saying there. Our rivalry with Real Madrid is nothing like Liverpool. The rivalry in England is Liverpool and Manchester United. It's the biggest rivalry in England. Nothing comes close. Man City have only become a rival because they chucked a load of oil money at it. All it ever was a local derby. It's not important. Liverpool, Manchester United is the biggest game in England, and that's the bottom line. I know Liverpool fans. I've grown up with Liverpool fans. You know why I grew up with Liverpool fans? Because I grew up in the 80s, and Liverpool were good then, and I hated them. But a lot of people supported them because they were glory hunters. Liverpool and United is a massive rivalry. We do need late leadership, Safe and the gang. And I thought this show was about fan opinion, says Lukaku the GOAT. Add another sentence. That's what I would say. I'm going to give you a little bit of advice there. Add another sentence about what your opinion is, and you might get it read out. Miriam says Mark is fantastic. You know, he's a bit of a knobhead as well. I'll be honest. Even I know that. Griezmann, come on, says Naman. What? Griezmann? I think Griezmann's going to Barcelona, mate, or he's going to stay at there. Fabinho is a good player and has a good character. We need that. Real footballer. Pankaj, I hate Liverpool so much. Amstel is the runt of the litter in Ireland, says Kieran Byrne. Kieran, I lived in Ireland for 3 years. Amstel and Dutch Gold was the cheap beer that all my student mates used to buy. I'll tell you what, in England, it's premium lager. That is like a premium lager. It was the cheap stuff when I lived in Ireland, you're right. Fosu Mensah has shown more quality than Fabinho, says Isla Daniel. Oh, Isla, I'm so sorry I read that. I'm reading stuff without actually reading it. You've taken a big L there, mate. I love Fosu Mensah, but he's nowhere near Fabinho, to be honest. Mohammed says he's overrated. We are better than Liverpool, says Pedro. We're probably not. How about Christian Pulisic, Mark, says Adam Phillips. I'd love him. Development-wise, Mourinho doesn't like development. De Gea will be a captain leader, says Farner. I'm not a big fan of goalkeeper. I'm not a big fan of goalkeeper captains, to be honest. I must admit, I'm not. Please do drop a like on the video. You know what? I've had a few drinks. Only water. I've never hit 1,000 likes on a live stream before. If you can do that, tap yourself on the back. Mourinho's buying for 4-3-1-2. We need a midfield general, says Andre Williams. Where do you get him from? And Abanaf says, we need a backup striker. We struggle with Romelu Lukaku. Well, we are meant to be after a backup striker. Thanks for that contribution. Mandzukic from Juventus, who has just turned 32. Arnautovic, formerly of Stoke, now at West Ham 29. I would take Arnautovic over those two because I didn't realise he was 29, but I also didn't realise he was 6'3". He's a skillful player. He's a bit inconsistent, but if Mourinho thinks he can get consistency out of him, I actually prefer him over Mandzukic, who It's nothing to do with him being linked to Manchester United. I've never been a fan. Never been a fan. Perisic says Luis Garcia. I think that ship may have sailed. I don't think we're in the market for an out-and-out winger anymore now that we've signed Sanchez. But I wanted Perisic last summer, and what I said about Perisic is a lot of people didn't want him. It was a sort of a 50-50 split, and I said I really wanted Perisic to come because those people who doubted him would have been proved wrong. Lewandowski won't happen, says Bad Drab 124. I agree with him. Prediction for tomorrow's game, Mark. AAC. Well, you can see my preview and Real Madrid versus Liverpool combined 11 on That's Football. I think 3-1 Madrid. I can't contemplate anything else other than a Madrid win. Rahul says, if Fred comes in, select one, Milinkovic-Savic or Fabinho. Or Rahul. Rahul, you are the sort of person who absolutely... I'm not going anywhere. You are the man, Rahul, because or the woman, because that question is a nightmare. So Fred signs, and then you've got to choose Milinkovic-Savic or Fabinho. I'd have to go Milinkovic-Savic. I would. I think he is fundamental to our summer. I think if we come out of this summer and we don't sign him, we've missed a massive trick there. The show we were going to do tonight, if the Fabinho story hadn't started, was Pogba versus Milinkovic-Savic. Would you sell Pogba? Should Pogba be sold? And we're going to do that show at some point when there isn't any big news breaking. But I would take Milinkovic-Savic over Fabinho. I think he is primed to be brilliant. I really do. Byron Leopold says, Mark, if United got Savic, Fred and Fabinho, would you be happy to swap Pogba for Ousmane Dembele? Yes. If we got Fabinho, Savic and Fred, we don't need Pogba. You'd sell him. We won't get all three of those. We won't sign three midfielders. It'll be two at best out of those three, probably one. Talisca sometimes plays as a striker. Maybe that's why we're after him as a backup striker, says Abanaf. I think in relation to Talisca, it's pretty much what I thought about Talisca. He's being sort of touted out by Benfica, and he himself has come out and said that as well, more or less. There is interest in me, it is genuine, but it sounds a little bit desperate. I don't necessarily not want him to come, but it all sounds a bit like Benfica's tactics before when they're trying to get rid of players like Gayton. It's like it sounds a little bit desperate from Talisca, to be honest. I'll be surprised if we sign him. Would you rather have Umtiti or Jimenez at United, says DN Plays? I like Umtiti, don't we all? I won't watch the Scousers unless Madrid are 5-0 up at half-time, says Aidan Hodgson. And I like Talisca better than Fred. Fred is Mata replacement, says Pogba West. I mean, I can't really say it at this moment in time. We've not hit 1,000 likes yet, so if people want to hit the like button and see if we can do that, there is nearly 2,000 people watching. It's one click. Nobody said this, so I'm just going to say it now. I think Herrera's going to leave. I do. I don't ask me why. I think he's going to go, and Mata might go as well. But definitely, Darmian and Fellaini are gone. Daley Blind will go as well. That's 3. I mean, 3 players out in the summer is quite a lot. I think we might go as high as 6, but I seriously think we'll go as high as 5. I think Herrera might go. I do. And actually, as much as I love Herrera, and I've loved Herrera for a long time, I think he's a real cult hero. Fred is probably better, and we probably need to evolve in the midfield area. And Matic isn't going to go, and Pogba's probably not going to go. And yeah, Herrera's probably the one that needs to move on. I don't want him to go, but Mourinho's not really used him this season, and I think that's to do with a contract issue, so I think he will go. Herrera needs to go, says Ryan McSwiggan. There you go. We could sign 6 players, says Pankaj. Durrani says same. I think Herrera will leave and Blind too. We 100% need Timo Werner, says Super Sly TV. We won't sign him again. He's too young. Mourinho's not going to go under 23. He won't. I'll be stunned if Mourinho signs anybody under the age of 23. He's got 1 year to really hit the ground running, and I just don't think Mourinho will do that. Imagine if Haha Banter literally says, imagine if Blind or Darmian is still at the club next season. It would be a total and utter negative to do that. and it's nothing to do with the quality of the player, but Blind and Darmian have not been used this season. They have to be moved on. It is logical and it needs to do. Sam Howe says, say Mourinho out and you'll get 2,000 likes. I don't know what people feel about it. I'm really not in that. I'm not on that page. I'm not. I got close. I'm going to hold my hands up and say, towards the end of the season, I was getting very close to saying Mourinho needs to go. But I didn't. And I'm certainly nowhere near that now. I think I'm already on that train of next season. Let's see what happens with the transfer window. Let's give him that third year, which I've always said he needs to have. There's nothing that's going to happen over this summer, I don't think, that's going to push me into Mourinho out. As sad as that sounds, even Martial leaving, which will absolutely gut me, I don't think that will push me. John Brooks, thanks for the contribution. Mark, Madrid all the way tomorrow. Do you know the update on Sir Alex? Great show, as always. I don't know the update because I've been in the pub. So if anyone wants to tell me what that update is, I'm absolutely live. Mata and Herrera leaving would upset David De Gea, says Pratic. I think you're right. And I hope there isn't a massive exodus at United, says Dinky Dinky Dinky. I like that name. We need a proper centre-back and a right-sided midfielder, says Nathan McIntosh. Thanks for that contribution. Look, it's an exciting time for Manchester United. I firmly believe that. I really do think it's an exciting time. And I think you've just got to, get involved, have your say. United stand, get my words out. The United stand army is in full swing, i.e. you lot. We're kicking this transfer window hard. And, I really do hope that Fabinho comes in. Fred comes in, Milinkovic-Savic comes in, Ronaldo comes in, Sandro comes in. Let's be realistic. But, I do also believe, I know for a fact, I feel it as much as you do, that the people leaving the club is not exciting as the people coming into the club. But I am excited about the people leaving the club. Darmian needs to go. Blind needs to go. Fellaini needs to go. That's 3 straight away that need to go. Pereira and Fosu Mensah need to come back and be involved. And the coaching staff change is good as well. Would you take Varane over Umtiti, says Si? Yeah, I would take Varane. But Varane, why would Varane come to Manchester United? He's going for 3 Champions League titles tomorrow night. Why would he come to United? We probably won't be winning a Premier League next year. Why would he come to Manchester United? I think Varane's fantastic. I got into this argument at lunchtime. People were saying Van Dijk should be in a combined 11. Get out. Go away with those United fans who think you should support Liverpool tomorrow night. Van Dijk's not bad, but Ramos and Varane are the best centre-back partnership in the world at the moment. They've won 2 Champions Leagues in a row. They're going for 3 tomorrow night. It doesn't matter how good Van Dijk is. Ramos and Varane are the best centre-back partnership in the world. And centre-backs are about partnerships. That's what United need to build. Of course I would take Varane. It just won't happen. Mourinho made Varane buying him when in Madrid at 18 years, says Owen. Yeah, there's a lot of people who like Mourinho. Varane openly, publicly likes Mourinho. Willian likes Mourinho, but it doesn't mean they're going to come to United. And I think Willian will probably stay at Chelsea now because they are going to get rid of Conte. I think that'll be announced very soon. And I also think after the Champions League final, it's going to kick off next week. I think next week's going to be a very, very big week. So subscribe to the channel if you're new and get your notifications on because it's been a busy week this week, but I think next week's going to be the sweet spot until July because after next week everyone's getting away on the World Cup and they're looking towards the World Cup. I think next week is going to be a very big week in the transfer window because it's almost like the week you have off before you join up with your World Cup team. I think it's going to be a big week. Steve Y says Amari Mbola, 16-year-old at Benfica, Mourinho interest. I think United will be interested. I don't think Mourinho's interested in anybody under 22 because they can't serve what he needs next season, which is what he really needs. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Please do drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's the first time on a Friday night show. I've had a few drinks in a while, and it was rewarded by the one player I've wanted us to sign for the last 2 years, which is Fabinho. So let's see if it happens. But nice to have that video. Sorry for having to change the video. We will do the pod video at some point, but the last 2 days has just gone off big time, hasn't it? We will have a video for you tomorrow. We won't be live at 8 o'clock tomorrow night because on That's Football, I will be live doing a Real Madrid versus Liverpool watch along. So if you can stomach doing that, or you're a United fan who knows you've got to watch it but don't want to watch it on your own, Join us on That's Football tomorrow night at 8 o'clock for that. But we will have a video going up in the day, probably live as well, around lunchtime. Thanks everyone for watching. The United Stand Army is live and kicking, and that is you. Alex Dukas says this video deserves 1,000 likes. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you have as well. I'll have to watch it back myself because I can't remember half the stuff I've said. But I can't do it without you. I always say that, and I am a little bit emotional, but I can't do it without you lot. You make the show. If I was doing this as a pre-record, it would be crap, and that's the bottom line. I can't do anything without you lot, and you make the show. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll speak to you all soon.